I'm Michael Wan, politics editor for Korea Daily. So I think the Trump-Russia collusion is a complete nonsense, fabricated from the beginning. So my question is, how come there's no outcry for Hillary Clinton and the DNC campaign hiring Perkins Coie, hiring Fusion GPS, and hiring former MI6 agent Christopher Steele, and Christopher Steele got these fabricated dossiers from the Russians.
I mean, like, she lost you once.
From the Russians. So that's a real collusion there, but I don't see a lot of outcry from the conservatives. So I want to know your opinion. I already got you.
Yeah, listen, I think this is a symptom, what you're talking about, is a symptom of the fact that we've had a Justice Department, quite frankly, under this president, that in many ways has been completely dysfunctional. And the fact is that it's hard to be Attorney General of the United States. And it's hard to be a prosecutor because there are going to be times you have to do things which people aren't going to think are popular, but are in the long-term constitutional interest of the country. And we have not had that at the Justice Department under this president. And so if you're asking that question, it's a good question to ask. Why are we investigating Russian collusion on the Republican side but not the Democratic side? And I sense that it's because you've had people making decisions who have felt compromised themselves, and they didn't know whether they could be daring, whether they could be bold, and as a result, they just checked out.
I think he's referring to the Attorney General.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, but I mean, it's, and I think that the president's frustration over this is legitimate. That, you know, he believes that, and let's end the myth on this, that Jeff Sessions recused because he was involved in the campaign. Eric Holder was involved in President Obama's campaign. He recused on anything. Jeff Sessions recused.
That's because he's a dishonest guy.
Well, hold on a second.
Jeff Sessions hold Eric Holder.
He misspoke in front of Congress on the 27th.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The reason he did, because he knew on January 20th that he was involved in the campaign, and if that was the basis for an honest recusal, he would have recused the day he took the oath. He didn't. He didn't recuse until March. So it wasn't, Charlie, just that he misspoke on the 27th. It said he got caught in March having misspoken on the 27th, and then people were camped outside his house and put cameras in front of him, and he went, you know, I'd rather not. I'll recuse. So don't lie to me about the fact that the basis of this recusal was some honest recusal. That's baloney. Because if it was, Jeff Sessions knew from the day he was asked to be Attorney General that he had been involved with the campaign, that he had been a surrogate. And if he thought, and the Russian investigation and the allegations were already going on then. So it wasn't like you go, oh, well, this came up out of nowhere, I had no idea. Of course he knew. He didn't tell the truth in front of Congress about his interaction with the Russians. And once he got caught on that, here's what I say about
Then how come Trump didn't ask him to resign when he didn't tell the truth to Congress?
Well, let me say this. I think that the president got talked out of it by the staff at the time, who just said to him, you can't do this. But the last thing I'll say is this, and this is, and I told the president this when he was making some of these selections. There are certain positions in the government where you have to have people with spines of steel. Others you don't. Secretary of Commerce, right? But like Attorney General, Secretary of Defense, White House Chief of Staff. Those three jobs, you better have someone with a spine of steel, because their jobs are to bring news to the president he doesn't want to hear, and to take stuff off the president's desk and handle for him that the president shouldn't have to deal with. And he did real well on the defense side. He missed on Attorney General and on his first Chief of Staff. And he paid for that. He paid a huge price for that. In the end, here's what you got to look at when you look at people who have been in political life that get appointed to things. If you've never felt real heat in your life before, and then all of a sudden you're feeling that heat, and you think you're getting third-degree burns when all you're getting is a tan. But you don't know the difference. And what Charlie pointed out is when Jeff Sessions felt the heat in March, he thought he was getting third-degree burns. All he was getting was a tan, and he backed off.
And not a really good tan.
That's right. And it cost the president a good part of his first term with an enormous distraction that I don't think factually will ever become justified, and it really diminished the authority of the Justice Department to do what you're talking about. Because now if they do it, they look like they're doing it in a retaliatory way. If they had done it from the beginning out of a position of principle, that they were going to look at both, they would have done that in a position.
So let me ask a question.
So do you think Trump...
Wait, hang on. question, because I want to get in other questions too, but moderator privilege, you obviously look pretty tan right now.
I am.
And you have the qualifications, so fast forward to a point where, for whatever reason, Jeff Sessions is no longer Attorney General, you'd obviously be at the top of the list. If you were to be Attorney General under President Trump, would you bring a criminal investigation against Hillary Clinton?
If I were Attorney General, I would make every judgment based upon what's in the best interest of the country and what's in the best interest of justice, and that's the only way you make those decisions.
But do you think there are
Listen,
grounds
by the
for...
way,
But it's a question for the Senate Judiciary Committee.
wait a second. By the way, you know what I know? I know I don't know all the facts that I would need to know to make that judgment. And you don't prejudge those things. But you must have the intent and the strength to be able, if the facts get presented to you, even if it's going to make you uncomfortable, even if it's going to put you in a bad spot politically, you're not the president, you're the Attorney General. You make the judgment because your job, as I told every USA I hired when I was U.S. Attorney, the last thing I think